Hi everyone, my name is Ray Gates. I'm the founder and head instructor of Wisconsin Tai Chi Academy, and I'm also a physical therapist by profession. I'm very much an advocate for Tai Chi and Qigong for health and wellness, and it's something that not only do I bring into my practice as a Tai Chi instructor, but also within my role as a physical therapist. I use a lot of things that I learn out of Tai Chi and Qigong in my day-to-day physical therapy. So one of the things that I want to talk to you about today is something that has come to my attention that is really giving me cause for concern, and I feel that it could very well be a public health risk, is a spate of what I'm seeing called courses that will teach people to become Qigong healers. Now, understand there are legitimate medical Qigong courses out there which teach people Qigong principles and then how to apply them in a medical Qigong context. What this usually involves is someone who understands and is able to get in touch with their own Qi and then be able to extend that into another person to be able to alter that person's Qi in order to be able to produce a health or wellness effect. That's a very simplistic description of it. The thing is that to just understand how Qi works in your own body can sometimes take years of practice. As someone who's been doing Tai Chi for over 20 years, it's still something that I'm working on all the time in my own practice. Now, that's not to say that it takes everyone that long, but it does, as you can imagine, take a considerable amount of time. My concern is that there are courses coming through now that are purporting to be able to make people Qigong healers within several hours of practice. One course that I've seen has 5 3-hour lectures, and by the end of it, they're certifying these people to be Qigong healers and telling people that they can then go out and start to heal people through using Qigong. Now, I have serious doubts about this based on my experience, and I really feel that it could place people at risk for 2 different reasons. My first reason goes towards people who are doing the course in the first place. Unless you have a lot of experience working with Qi, working with Qigong, I don't think that being able to pick these ideas up in 5 3-hour lectures, which are online, they're not in person, it's not going to give you the understanding or experience that you need to really firstly connect with your own Qi, much less be able to direct someone else's. So I think what's happening is that this is giving people a false idea or a false sense of security, and really is almost setting them up to fail. The issue I see with that, again, as a health practitioner coming from a medico-legal standpoint, is that if you're saying that you can provide a service, Qigong healing, and that you are going to obtain a result for these people, if you're not obtaining the result, that leaves you liable to explain why it is that the result hasn't come through. So without the proper training, you're probably not going to get the results for people. Best case scenario is that people are just going to say, well, you're not doing your job. Worst case scenario is you could be setting yourself up for legal consequences. The second part of the risk comes back to the people who would be receiving these treatments. Often people who are seeking out these treatments are doing so because other avenues of treatment, the traditional Western approach, different drugs, things like that, either aren't working for them or aren't working well enough. So they're really looking for alternatives to be able to get the response that they're looking for. Okay, these people are vulnerable. And I would say that unless you really know what you're doing and how to treat these people, how to approach their care, you really shouldn't be trying to treat these people, and these people should be only seeking people who are qualified, have a lot of experience, a lot of understanding, ideally who are still working in conjunction with a senior instructor or a master who they can actually feed back to and understand what they're doing as well. So the bottom line is, if you are a potential patient of one of these Qigong healers, please check out their qualifications, look at the training they've done. If they haven't got several years of experience at least working with this. If they haven't learned under a Qigong master, then I would not go to them, okay? Look for someone else who is suitably qualified. For people who are considering doing these certificate courses, first, good for you for wanting to help people, but make sure you get suitably qualified, all right? These courses are not something that can be done in a matter of hours. They're not something that can really be learned online, because you need that face-to-face experience with someone who can guide you through it and also be able to give you feedback on what it is you're experiencing, and then consequently what it is you might be putting out to someone else. Okay? Tai Chi, Qigong, all of these things are very good for your health, but please make sure that you are learning them. If you want to take on a training role, learn them from someone who is suitably qualified. If you're seeking out instruction for your own benefit, just for your own personal use, again, please seek out a suitably qualified instructor. Thanks very much, anyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me using the details below. I hope that this has been helpful, and I hope that we can continue to encourage health and wellness in the community.